During Trump's inaugural speech, which took place just a few minutes before this recording, Trump outlined and reaffirmed his desire to take over Panama and Canada. Now, aside from that angering me as a Canadian who doesn't want to be an American, and God help me, I would rather be anything than an American, this has done something very significant. Look at the cheering that has gone on. And look at not just the people in the room, the Republicans who are like good little seals that'll just cheer and clap at anything he says, but the regular everyday Americans who support Trump support doing that. It shows something significant. Imperialism is in the heart of the American people, whether anyone wants to admit it or not. As much as a lot of leftists like to claim it's only something the elites want. The third worldists are wrong. The first world isn't bought off. They're not pro-imperialist. They're not in line with imperialism. Here you go. Right there, in front of the world, you've got all of the Trump supporters, enough to have gotten him elected democratically, saying they support those invasions. Now, part of third worldism is acknowledging that the first world is bought off with the spoils of imperialism. They use that to raise the living standards of the people domestically so that they have enough so that they won't rebel, which keeps indicating being true with America. No matter how much you take away from the people of America, they're not rebelling, and they're not going to rebel. In fact, they're more likely to shoot up a school than they are to shoot up a government building. So there really is no denying it at this point that the first world people are bought off. And not only are they bought off, they are pro-imperialism. It's in first world people themselves. It's right there as a part of them. Now, you can even extend this further into all the people that have been very happy to watch the genocide go on in Gaza and watch the Palestinians suffer. And every time there's a new war that comes up, you know what, every time they need a new war and they need a new life for it, the American people go for it every single time, without fail. No matter what happened after the Iraq War, and people saying it was based on a lie, it was based on a lie, we're never going to fall for this again. They still do. Every single time, hook, line, and sinker. They still go for it. They go for it because they want to believe it. They're not even questioning it. After they themselves have already admitted that they lied, that powers that be lied to get them into the Iraq War. And they hate George Bush for lying to get into the Iraq War. They learned absolutely nothing because they didn't want to learn anything. They want these wars to continue so they can feel good about themselves. Look, see, we're the ones getting rid of the dictators and making a democratic world for all peoples, and all peoples owe us a debt of gratitude for our help in these situations. And you see how manifest destiny stays in there? The perceived right that America has, not just to just invade whatever they want, but that they're the good guys for carrying out imperialism. You see how that didn't really die? Manifest destiny didn't die in some kind of college class where people recognized what a fraud that it is. It's still alive, out there, with the American people, with the mass majority of American people still believing it, and still believing that the wars are justified based on whatever nonsense you tell them, and they'll believe it. Because they want it to happen, and they want to believe that they're the good guys, and they're the ones helping the entire world. America is imperialism. This is another great shot that goes to these so-called patriotic socialists who say that America's not really like this, or their America's not like this, or the American people aren't like this, they're just a poor, exploited, oppressed proletariat. Here they are, pro-imperialism, again, as soon as you give them an excuse to do it, there they go doing it. And there they go, believing more lies to justify war. You're going to have to admit, not just you, everyone, is just going to have to admit that the first world is bought off. And not only that, the first world in the United States is very uniquely fascist. It's fascist right down to its regular everyday people who believe in imperialism. They believe that whenever they go to war, they're doing it for the right reason and that people owe them for having done it. They believe that the Syrian people owe them a debt of gratitude for saving them from Assad. So this is really a historic moment, whether anybody wants to believe it or not, and whether or not anybody really wants to recognize it. It's right here in front of our eyes. The nature of the empire, and not just the nature of the empire, the nature of the people in the empire. Here they are, going along, cheering every single thing that's happening. People didn't even have to ask the U.S. to fight Israel. They just wanted them to just not give weapons. That's it. Just don't do something, because it is not doing anything too much to ask. And it still was. And the majority of the American people still celebrated that genocide that's still going on right now as Israel's violating the ceasefire. So you don't ever say again, it's just the elites that want the imperialism. It's not the American people, and we don't benefit from it. Yeah, you do. That's why you have a higher living standard in the third world. That's the fucking point of first and third world. That's why it exists. As much as you want to claim that the American people are not in line with imperialism as something that just the ruling classes do, it isn't. It is very much something that is in the heart of the American people. Manifest Destiny never died. It stayed on, and it stays on, continuing with this, liberal or conservative.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.